This is the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup console from Grid by SimLab. It's a button box costing €399 with a 2-year warranty. It's a Porsche officially licensed product and it's made to add extra immersion and gadgetry to your PC sim racing rig to help the virtual world physically reach out to you that little bit more. It's a replicated slice of a real car's cockpit furniture. Though I don't believe it's an exact copy of the real layout, it looks to be maximised and optimised for sim racing purposes. I could be wrong on this, I don't know for sure. Nonetheless, it's got lots of cool switches, dials and twiddlers on board. I'm a Porsche fan, let's face it, it's hard to find someone who isn't, and I like the idea of this very much. Let's have a look. Before we begin, please be aware that Grid by SimLab has provided this console for review. I've not had to pay for it and this video is created on that basis. That's why I mark videos of this nature as paid promotion. However, it is still a review, not an ad. Good and bad points are covered as I see them, and all words are my own. Watch the whole thing through, but if you do proceed to buy, I've placed links to retailers of this button box in the video description. Using those links helps me out a great deal and thank you for doing so. Questions and comments are welcome, feel free. In the box, you get the console, the cable and some fitting screws. It mounts via a Visa pattern, the same type your screens or monitors use, but it doesn't include a mount of any sort. SimLab do make a button box holder for €59 and that's what I'm using here. It's the best tool for the job, to be honest. 3 things will be apparent upon first hold. It's large, it's well put together and it's cool. There are 42 inputs on board according to the specs. That includes a few rows of up and down flicky switches, 3 rotary dials, 1 brake bias dial, and if you know me then you know I'll be all over that, a few push buttons, a big hazard button, a single multi-way switch, or funky switch as we know it, all topped off by a guarded switch with the big red cover. Flick it up to turn the switch on, not the guard down to turn it off, and although this switch looks like it's an on-off switch for the entire thing, it actually isn't. LEDs do come on when it's activated, but you don't need it to be on for all the buttons to work as normal. All the switchgear feels automotive grade, nothing about this feels bargain basement. It gives me the same energy as this gives the toddler, it really does. I know this thing is mostly unnecessary, I know I can get by just fine without it, but I can't help it. I like it, it has its uses, and I'd just rather have it than not. For one, it really does have so many inputs that you can converge a lot of your bindings and button maps to this to offload them off of your wheel. Wheels come and go for me, but this button box will remain a constant, so no more having to constantly remap controls when I switch. Secondly, it just makes you feel more involved in your sim to physically clock what switch you need and then physically use it. There's no denying that it's satisfying to drop into a car, press a button to turn on the ignition, then press a different button to start the engine. It makes it feel less like a game. Tweaking the brake bias via a proper dial, flicking a switch to engage the wipers, flash the lights, twisting a dial to adjust ABS, TC and pedal maps, it all brings it together to make that illusion much more complete. The fact it looks good is a massive bonus, obviously. That crisp Porsche logo at the foot of the console is nice, and the fact that it's cut from the same cookie cutter as the real deal makes it feel like it's an extracted portion of the real car. And with the stickers customised, it makes for a striking piece of motorsport themed equipment. As I sit in my rig, I feel more closely nestled in with a panel off to my left. My single screen setup is convenient for many things I do, but I do lose some immersion in the process because of that. This console puts a little bit of it back, but I'd imagine it to be far more at home in your proper triple screen setups, ducking just below the screen line. Are there any negatives, really? Not as far as the console itself goes, but it is a bit miserly of Grid and SimLab not to include a mount of any kind. Just something would have been nice, even if it was just a very basic sheet metal thing, but other than that, I'm not sure there's much to moan about. The stickers might be a bit hard to see because there's no backlighting at all. If your sim room is very dark, then you'll probably have wished you'd bought a fully backlit button box if they exist, but this is the only gripe I can really come up with. The rest of it is, what you see is as cool as what you get. You don't need this, you can live without this, but ultimately anyone that buys this is doing it for one reason: to sprinkle fun, theming and immersion into their regular sim racing activity. At €399, there are many button boxes much cheaper than this. This is the most expensive button box I could find, but it also has one of the highest numbers of inputs, looks amongst the most well-made and attractive, and it's allowed to have Porsche written on it. If all that flicks your switch, then you should enjoy this. That's it. I hope this little tour around the Grid Porsche console was entertaining. Please feel free to ask questions. Once again, if you've made up your mind, then using the shop links in the description to travel to selected retailers supports me greatly, and cheers again.